This time I'm gonna go ahead and go on Adobe Illustrator and I'm gonna show you how to use the gradients. I did it in Photoshop, now I'm gonna show you how to do it in Illustrator. Real quick, let's check it out. Like I said, we're gonna be using the gradients. If you don't see a window like this anywhere on your screen, you can simply just go to Window and then click Gradient and it'll pop up somewhere. Here, I'll show you right now, actually. It's gone now. Now it's back. So once you have your gradients out, we're going to decide what we're going to apply the gradient to. And just for our work example here, we're going to be applying it to a big circle like this. So first we're going to talk about the linear gradient. How to activate the gradient. You could just click on your object and then you can click this button, or you probably can click this button also, or you can go to the gradient tool and click into your object and it'll create a gradient for you. So what we want to do is, let's say I want this to fade from blue to green. I simply just click on my black here, double click on that, and then go to a blue color. Let's use like sort of a light blue. And then what do we say, blue to green? Hopefully that's what I said. I think that's what I said. Click on the white. Click on a nice green color. And it's really that simple. Now you already have your gradient. But let's say that we don't want a linear gradient. Let's say that we want a gradient to go from blue in the center to green on the outside. If that's the case, we want to click on our object and then click on our radial gradient. And ours is going from green to blue. But if we want to switch it around, we simply just swap these colors around, and now it's going from blue to green. And there's a gradient slider right in the middle here, and this here allows you to sort of lean the strength either to the left or the right of either color. Or now let's say that you want to add more colors to it. You simply just go click on your object, click edit gradient, down right here where you see a white arrow with the plus, and then it'll add a new color. And now this color can be whatever color I like it to be. So let's say I want it to be yellow. So now we have a blue to yellow to green. And then you see how the blue to yellow transition is a little bit more harsh than the yellow to green transition, which is more smooth. And that's because the gradient slider is right on the edge of the yellow. So if we move this down, it becomes a lot smoother. And we can add as many colors as we like. Add a red. We could add an orange. And you could just keep adding to the colors until you get whatever your desired gradient is. So now let's say that this is a radial gradient. Let's say that we want to control where the colors are going to pop up in a circle. If that's the case, then we're going to click our freeform gradient right here with our object selected still. Go ahead and click that. And then now it's asking for points or lines. So we're going to go with points. And we just click somewhere on the object. And that's how you add a point. Click another one, another one, another one, another one. As many as you want. And then you click on whatever color you want to change and you make it into a new color. Just go ahead and fill in all these colors real quick so you can see the example. Said you probably can add as many colors as your computer will allow you to handle. And then you can still move them around if you would like them to be in different areas. You can make them stronger or weaker. But I want to show you one more thing that you can do with gradients that's kind of cool. So let's start over. Let's make this, let's say we want to fill it with a light blue. Now we're going to use a light blue and now we're going to put a texture over our gradient. So we're going to select this and then we're going to hit copy. Paste exactly right on top. So I'm going to hit Control Shift V, and that way we have two blue ones here. Now next thing I'm going to do is select the gradient. I want to do a linear one, and I want this gradient to be I want it to be just a black to white. So I'm gonna delete these other colors. And then I'm gonna make this one right here black. And I'm gonna make this one white. Next thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and give it a nice fade here. And I want to give it sort of a texture overlay. So I'm gonna go to my effects. I'm gonna go to texture, and I'm gonna go to grain. Now my grain options, I want to mess with the intensity a little bit and the contrast, but I also want to change my grain to a stippled grain. So we want sort of a noisy grain here going on here. And then what I'm going to do is go to my opacity and pull it down some. And now we have like a texturized gradient going on. And I can even go down below to my blue color, and I can change that to whatever color I like, and it still keeps your texture. Or we can change this to radial, and now we have like sort of a spotlight thing going on. So it's just showing you a couple creative ways that you can operate with these gradients. You can even still go ahead and make a gradient underneath here. Let's do points again. Let's add a few. Make this one red. Whoops, what's going on here? There we go. Red, lime green, red, blue. Add some more blue. And then we can go up on top here, adjust this even more so. Let's say I want this to be overlaid. And now we sort of can just barely see the noise in here. But it just sort of adds a little bit of texture and a little bit more dimension to your artwork. And that's pretty much the basis on how the gradients work in Adobe Illustrator. Pretty cool, right? If you got any questions or comments, you can leave them in the box below. I appreciate y'all watching as usual. Peace out.